must have seen the news of this YouTube influencer couple who aborted their child on discovering that he has a Down syndrome diagnosis. And at the foundation, the very basis of the argument a lot of people are making is the idea of eugenics. What is the difference between you and Adolf Hitler? If you think that a child does not deserve to live just because they have a genetic disorder, this idea of wanting children that have desirable traits because of the kind of life you have envisaged for them, that is not compassion, that is control, that is you playing God. Every life is created and formed in the image of God. A child with Down syndrome is not less of a child, and this is the very idea of eugenics, that humans with less desirable traits should be killed. And if you are supporting the killing of children with Down syndrome, then it's very okay. It's very okay for, say, a white person to support the killing of black children because they think that black children are genetically inferior, that the black race is inferior. If you support the idea that we should decide who lives and who is murdered, then what is the basis of that decision? And this is not to deny the difficulty of raising a child with a disability. It is going to be hard. I'm not saying it's an easy decision to make, but we cannot justify killing children just because they have a disability. Because number one, you are playing God, you are deciding who gets to live, and you are desecrating the sanctity of human life. God told Jeremiah, before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you and I made you a prophet. Especially as Christians, I'm seeing Christians saying, well, it's an act of mercy, it's an act of compassion. If you believe that every human life should be treated equally, irrespective of their skin color, why do you not believe that about babies, irrespective of their disability? Every single human life has inestimable value and dignity, not because of our skin color, not because of our health conditions, not because of where we live, not because of our race, not because of what other people think of us, because we were created in the image of God. If you murder a baby because it's not a perfect baby, whatever perfection means to you, then you don't deserve to be a parent. You should not be a parent. Rest in peace to that little boy. It's so sad that your parents did not find you perfect enough to live. Must have seen the news of this huge...
Oh, come on, let's not be dramatic, please. Which one be rest in peace to that little boy? Your parents did not find you. Oh, come on, relax. Relax. I usually like a lot of your takes, but this one's a little dramatic. Okay, so if you guys don't know, if you guys don't have context, this popular YouTube couple, you know, excitedly announced that they were expecting a baby boy, and then a few days ago came online to let us know that they've just done like maybe what do you call that testing? Is it DNA testing? Not sure.
It's that is the 20-week checkup, I think, where they do like a deep dive,
thorough check on the baby,
they're checking for chromosomal
defects, yes,
things like that.
So they had done that and found that baby has
95% chance,
a 95% chance of Down syndrome, which is trisomy 21, which is medically defined as a typical. Just think about it like a human being, and the average human being has 46 chromosomes. A person with Down syndrome has 47. So there's an extra set of chromosomes there that could cause mental and cognitive.
Physical and physical and cognitive, intellectual disability.
Yes.
Physical. There's
so that's to provide context as to this baby is going to be born challenged. This baby is going to be born with what we call special needs in this kind of part of the world, and they're going to require a lot of care, a lot of attention, just to get them to even be a little bit at par with their peers. So the parents are probably going to put them in physical and occupational therapy, we read, right? There's probably going to be, mental and cognitive delays with their developmental delays. So a baby that's supposed to have started speaking by maybe 2, a patient with Down syndrome is probably going to take longer to speak.
They might probably need speech therapy as well.
Yes. And then there might be like heart defects here and there. There might be organ development delays. And at some point they might not, depending on where they are, there's a spectrum apparently. Depending on where they are on the spectrum, they might be highly functional, they might not be as functional. So there's a lot of work that comes into having a baby with Down syndrome. Now, when I read this, or when I watched the video before Solomon's take on it, I didn't know what I would do, because this is I don't imagine that you love their kid more than the parents. I don't imagine that you prayed harder for a child than these people prayed.
Right.
So this could not have been an easy decision by any means. The fact that they took that decision means that they have weighed everything, whatever the doctor has told them, whatever the mom also knows about her own health, whatever the dad also knows about his own health. I don't know what their even family history is. This might be something that has happened before, and they've seen it play out where it ended badly, or somebody didn't handle their situation properly. You don't know their history is what I'm trying to say. They could not have come to this decision lightly. So I don't think it's fair that, first of all, you're using words like murder, because I don't say the other one. They are playing God. I think it's a bit harsh to just pass judgment on what you don't know about. They only showed us 2 minutes of their lives on camera. That decision might have taken weeks for them to now say, you know what, we don't think we can handle this, and we're going to choose this route. So I think that was a bit too harsh.
And the thing is, it rubs me the wrong way because I feel like, spot on, everything you said, spot on, right? People don't really understand where people are at, right? And what informs certain decisions that they take, so that when they come out and you're saying one step, just give the benefits of the doubt, right? Give it the benefits of the doubt, because this is me where, and everybody around me, my friends know, everybody knows that I've said 1 million times, I'm done with kids. I am not going to have any other child. I am completely done. If for some reason I get pregnant, first of all, I will buy my husband. And secondly, I'm taking it out and will not do it again. So if I come out and tell you guys now that, oh, CEO, I now found out that my enemy, because it cannot be me, has taken in, and I went to go and unalive it, and then somebody will not be like, oh, this is, but you don't understand, because I'm the one putting the shoes on. I know what happens to me when I'm pregnant. Literally life or death situation. I know what I've been through. I know that I become another person. Like, I'm not even me here. Like, you can't, like, all those things. So I know what it takes. So I say all this to say that, like, like you pointed out, you don't know the family's experience. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know anything about. You don't know, maybe a sibling had Down syndrome, or a grandparent, or maybe their own parent. You don't know all of those things, right? So, and then you can see how the lady broke down.
She was not taking that decision. Was not easy.
This is somebody, a child that they probably, like you said, prayed for. I saw her the pregnancy test when they were like very, very happy to have that. I don't know if they did a gender reveal or anything, but like, and this is such. It's so hard to get to, for us to just pass that kind of judgment and things like that. No, there's no. It's like somebody saying that they were essayed or something, right? And then they now ended up,
they got pregnant and they decided they don't want the baby.
Then you now come out and it's kind of on that same level.
Yes, I think so too. I have a problem with a lot of the things you said, like comparing it to racism. Hello. That
it was. I don't know if you were having a bad day when you made that video or anything, or somebody pissed you off, or you were projecting something else. Because wait, how does race come into
it? Did not join. Life is not black and white. As much as we like to say, oh, good is good and bad is bad, it really isn't. Life is not linear. It throws curveballs here and there. Where
you're like more gray than black and white.
Yes, there are things that we don't have clear answers to some of the time. You're going to have to take, take stock of your environment, your capability, weigh this, weigh that, should I not, what if I don't, before you now decide, what, this is probably going to be the best thing for our family. You don't get to be a stranger or an outsider looking in, telling a couple that what you did is wrong. You should not, you killed the baby. You should not. No, you don't know how they got there. Also saying that they're playing God because the baby is not perfect. What do you term as perfect? Because to them, even if that baby had come out with like a spinal cord dysfunction where they can't walk or something, I'm sure they would have probably been, I'll take it. As opposed to, because they probably weighed what they're capable of. At least this one is probably just, physical therapy. But they have their mind right. They can talk, they can read, they can write. But this part of other condition, it might affect every part of that child's life. Let's not even talk about bullying. Do you know what they went through as a couple, maybe with bullying? Where they're like, I don't want this for my child.
Right.
So we don't get to judge. I don't know, me, as I am like this, if you give me that option, I don't know what I'll do. Because it will take me like 40 days or 40 nights to first cry. Then after I finish crying, I will not hear from God, hear from this family, hear from that family. I just want to weigh what would I do before I will not make that decision. If I now make my decision, then you, from nowhere, who doesn't know how I got to that point, now wants to come and judge me and tell me that I murdered my child, I will find you.
And absolutely, and it's very easy to say that, you can't, it's not easy, like he understands, like it's not easy, this,
You say that.
Right, but you don't know, because especially in this part of the world that we are in, you're on your own. A lot of times you are on your own, right? Like there's no help coming from anywhere. And even if you're going to hire help, it's very expensive. And for how many, right? So the only thing, and I don't even know if this is accurate, but if it is, and the only thing that I would have said was, because we only watched that small clip. I don't know if there's more. So the only thing that I would have said that is because these guys are influential, because they're on YouTube, that people know them and all of that. Maybe I would have just said, you know what, we're not encouraging any other person to do this. This is our decision. This is our lives. This is something that, we don't take lightly at all. This is something that has been very difficult. They don't need to tell us all the circumstances, but just because you're a public figure or people know you and you have a following, because it's almost like you're saying, okay, if there's nothing stopping, because if you've had a Down syndrome pregnancy, there's nothing stopping you from having a second one.
Really?
Yeah, there's nothing. So, right, So what I would have said was maybe they should have put something out, and maybe they did. I don't know because I didn't see all that. And if they did, then that's perfect. But if they didn't, like, you want to say something like, you know what, I'm not endorsing anyone to take the same route. I'm not endorsing anybody to take this decision, or this is our decision that works for our family, so do what works for yours. Just something a little bit in those lines, right?
Yeah, you don't make it seem like a normal
yes, or that you're endorsing it, or you're encouraging people to go and do that, because again, you are an influencer for a reason. You're on these social platforms. You probably have big followings. You probably have, someone listens to you, for someone values you, for someone, people connect with people like that.
I'm just saying, I don't think we should judge. I don't think this should have even been filmed. First of all, YouTubers, I don't think this is a thing that we should have consumed. This is a private family moment.
I don't agree.
I don't think it's
why not?
Because we're like, this is heavy.
No, because like people want, first of all, again, it's their lives. That maybe that's what they do. There's some people where their content, their life is their content. That's how they've made their name. That's how they've made, and we wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't there. So they're also trying to bring the awareness, because now some people might be researching a little bit more. Yes.
Awareness of what?
Of how Down syndrome impacts people. And what it looks like if this is your situation, what are you going to do, right? So if you are wanting to start a family and all of that, knowing that because this couple, they look young. There's a misnomer that Down syndrome only affects you when you are older and this and that and that. They don't look like they're much older. Right? So there are all these things where now it's opening up that conversation, as maybe people had never, like you just said yourself, you don't know what you would do if you were in that situation. But now you're thinking about it like, oh my goodness, right? If some people that may not have finished having kids, or they are not even started having kids, they might now start that, wait, is there any way I can prevent this? What if this was my situation? What happens, right? Things like that, So I think that it's as their comfort level carry them. It's okay to bring certain things out if that's their content, if that's what they do. It's bringing the awareness, it's bringing the education, it's bringing the knowledge. Like, people are like, okay, some people don't even know what that chromosome was. If you hadn't said, like we have, for example, like, Down syndrome is just something that happens. They don't even know that is you have one extra chromosome that you're not supposed to. So, yeah.
Oh well, every madam to his kettle. I don't think it's our place to. I mean, we come online and we talk about a lot of things that we see on the internet, but like this one, when it involves a child, when it involves something this sensitive, I just think we should pause and before we rush and talk about it, let's give it some thought to say this could not have been easy. It's like life support. People on life support. It's like there's hard decisions that you face in life. Until you are in that situation, you don't know how you're gonna do what you're gonna do. You as a creator in the UK, I know you live in the UK with your wife and your kid. If this were to be you, not praying for that at all, but if this were to be you, you would weigh all the options around you. Do you have the time? How will this impact your job? How will this impact income in the house? Because somebody needs to be there full time. Do you have the capability to stay home? What's going to happen to your older kid? Who is going to explain to them that their younger sibling can't do this or can't play with them? Do you have the patience? Can you afford a living nurse? So many ifs and buts and whys, So a little bit more empathy next time, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Love and light.
Let us know what you guys think. Bye.